and we can observe a whitish substance or reagent to which we can observe a turquoise blue coloring, a presumed educational substance for cocaine cauda.
This young man seemed to have it all. The perfect life. A famous TikToker by profession had already achieved complete success in a short time. He is 25 years old and was showing off his successful social life on social media. The perfect life, full of travels, luxuries, the life that many boys of his age dream of having. His name is Modu Dudu Adams. He was born in England. He is a lover of fashion, travel, and especially liked to know Peru, a place he had visited on more than one occasion. She was happy. He even recorded several videos there, showing off his enviable routine. He appeared to be a lucky man, at least that's what he made it look like through the networks. Posing in fashionable clothes, traveling, eating some very interesting food, or visiting some paradisiacal beach in the Caribbean. This was Mudu's fascinating life. However, behind this hallucinating perfect life, behind this world of appearances, a very different reality was hidden, with a dark secret. This is not the first time that this British citizen has arrived in Peru. The authorities believe that he had already smuggled drugs, and probably in the same way. He was an international pack mule. He carried cocaine from one country to another in exchange for money. The screen of his mobile phone was the ideal camouflage to hide his real mission. This young Englishman and his many trips to Peru were to transport cocaine to London via Paris. The dangerous business seduced the boy. Each kilo of Peruvian cocaine can be worth more than 60,000 euros in Europe. And in Peru, that amount cost $3,500. The boy's downfall began to be written on 19th of September. On that day, Mudu arrived for the second time in Lima. He immediately took a flight to Cusco. This is a usual practice of drug trafficking organizations, so as not to arouse suspicion. A way of disguising the real purpose of the trip, of the shipments. A well-known person who is dedicated to modeling is paid very well for each presentation and much more for each transport of drugs. It is believed that between $6,000 and $7,000 for each shipment. After a few days in Cusco, duly documented in his social networks, Mudu returned to Lima and was ready to fulfill his real mission for the second time. The purpose had been solely and exclusively to transport drugs. This video captured by the security cameras of a hotel in Miraflores, Lima, shows the young man with a suitcase full of drugs. It is now 10 minutes past 11 a.m. on Saturday, 30th September. The TikToker appears on the scene carrying the suitcase that will condemn him. It is the same suitcase with which he will be arrested minutes later. Several cameras record his movements, from his departure from the hotel to his arrival at the airport. Everything is recorded on video, almost like one of the attractive stories he uploads on TikTok. At this moment, he enters the airport. TikToker arrives smoothly and goes to check his luggage at the airline counter. When everything seemed to go perfectly, two Ladirandro police officers immediately descend on him. They combine him to enter behind the counter for a routine check, and there the story is already known. Your hold luggage is going to be checked.
For temporary sealing and opening of the whole luggage, to make the referral of the whole luggage now.
Are you attentive?
Inserting in the hold luggage.
As we can see, a whitish substance that we're going to put into the isoscope or into the reagent. As we can see, they are fructose. And we can observe a whitish substance or in the reagent.
To which we can observe a turquoise blue coloring, a presumed educational for cocaine coda.
At that moment, Mudu's face changed completely. His life and his luck also changed. He also thought that everything would go as it did on the first trip, which was in February, and that he achieved his goal. But he was wrong.
It is going to be done. Put the sentence from 6 to 8 effective custodial sentences. He is currently in prison. Think about it, the legal consequences, the penalties are very high. It is not worth the risk, because the first thing is freedom.
The 933 grams.
The body search is going to be carried out already. You can put your foot down, remove rings, collars, leash. The suitcase of the young TikToker contained almost 3 kilos of cocaine. This drug was camouflaged in the structure of the suitcase. This is probably the most viewed video of this young TikToker. Here he is handcuffed and guarded by agents of the Aderandro. He will be escorted and with the contaminated suitcase taken to a special office. Sometimes a person's life can change from one moment to the next. Behind are the days of fun, the dream trips, the luxury hotels, the fashionable restaurants, and the brand name clothes. This fake world of the networks that this boy built had only one purpose: to cover up his real job. He was a smuggler. In this publication of the Peruvian judiciary, we see that he was sentenced to 6 years and 8 months in prison for having coordinated the shipment of nearly 3 kilograms of cocaine hydrochloride to London. Mudu accepted his guilt and was detained in an abbreviated trial. In the face of the evidence against him, Mudu accepted the crime and was sentenced to just over 6 years in prison. Effective prison, he will be deprived of his liberty. He is currently in prison in Peru, a long way from his native England.